Hey, this is Vito from Jersey, and this is my friend Carlo.
Fidiucci, come sta?
Carlo Cavallo. We grew up together in where?
Hoboken.
Hoboken.
That's the old timers. The old timers say Hoboken. It's really Hoboken.
Hoboken.
New Jersey.
What they used to say, Hoboken.
Hoboken. I'm going to the theater.
I'm going to the theater. How about instead of did you eat, what they say, G?
G?
G, no Jew.
The old days, the old country. We called the old country Hoboken, right?
Hoboken.
It's a different world now.
We come from Monroe Street. Monroe Street in Hoboken, when it was all Italian.
110%. 110% Italian back then, right? St. Francis, you had the feasts, right?
They're not feasting anymore. You're going to the feast? I'm not going to the feast. You know what that feast is now? They got the Muffet's feast now. It's down by the water. It used to be on Adams Street. That was the feast. That was the feast when it was on Adams Street. That was the Muffy feast.
Do they even carry the...
No, you know what they do now? They bring the saint in off the water, off the Hudson River. That's nice. That's nice what they do, because that's what they do in Muffetta.
Well, that blesses the boats, right?
Yes, it blesses the boats and everything like that. They bring the saint, the Madonna di Martiri, they bring it in out of the water. But they're all yuppies down here now. They got these stupid Americans going, let me have a dozen Zappolis instead of Zappola. Instead of, Zappola is fried dough.
Stupid yuppies.
It's fried dough with powdered sugar, it's Zappola. Let me have, I really love the Zappolis. And let me have the mozzarella balls instead of the mozzarella.
It's a fair, like you said.
It becomes a street fair. It's not an Italian feast anymore. Go to Lodi now.
When did they move it to the river?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That's the Muffy feast. The St. Anne's feast is still...
Well, that's
another stupid thing that they got now. It's not Italian. I went there this year. I know one person.
My aunt's the only one left. That's it. That I know. I don't know. I don't know when I said I don't know. Then the park. Forget the parking. You go park in Hoboken. If you're not from Hoboken, you know what we're talking about, and you want to go to Hoboken, don't drive into Hoboken. All right? That's a little tip.
Mamma mia. And you get the yuppies. They say, "Do you go to St. Anne's Italian Festival?" You mean the feast?
What?
The feast.
I don't know. I find it difficult to go. I have to really push myself to go there now.
When we were kids, there was the neighborhood. We used to. My mother used to give me 50 cents to go to the lady across the street to buy a gallon of wine. Einuch. Go buy Einuch's and get a gallon of wine. 50 cents. She had a patch over her eye, Carlo. She looked like a pirate. She had a patch over her eye. I knocked on a basement window. They lived in a basement. I go, Einuch. Okay, my mother wants a gallon of wine. Come on, you come. She'd go down there, she'd bring it down to the basement. I thought I was going down into the dungeon, She had the bottle of wine, she'd get the gallon, she'd go, homemade wine would come out of them. 50 cents, she'd give me 50
cents
for a gallon of wine.
Make sure you bring the bottle back.
And then we used to go to Leo's for the pizzas, 25 cents a pie.
A little personal pizza, right?
Now they're what?
I haven't been there in years.
The yuppies are going to me, did you ever try Leo? Kiss my ass.
Well, I think they redid did they redo it? Once they redo it, it's finished.
Yeah.
Once they start redoing it, then it's not, it loses everything. You lose everything. The jukebox in Leo's.
All Sinatra.
Except one. Tony Bennett. Every song was Frank Sinatra going in there. Every single one.
You didn't have Jimmy Roselli?
Maybe one. Maybe
Jimmy Roselli. And what about Biggie's?
Still there?
Now that's they're going, Biggie. Now he's charging like $24 or $36 a dozen clams.
And they have his little veranda, his little cafe. It's about 3 feet wide. You can fit like 2 tables.
This was a social club. This was a club. He used to open up.
Brother Mike, they call him.
Brother. He used to cut up the watermelons in the summer, put it out.
In the front, yeah.
He used to have the corn on a cob.
My mother used to give me, when I went to St. Francis, I used to eat lunch $1. No lie. I never forget the prices. Corn on a cob was 15 cents. A hamburger was 20 cents. A hot dog was like 15. I used to get hot dog, hamburger, slice of watermelon, ear of corn, and something to drink, and I used to get change out of $1.
And you
True story.
And you used to suck that corn on the cob until there was nothing on
I
it.
used to walk around town with that thing.
Just wanted to check.
Where'd you go? You left me a minute. Hoboken, my father used to take me into Columbo's Tavern when I was a kid. To shut me up, he used to give me like a quarter to put the money in the pistachio nuts in the machine.
Your father quarter.
Well, the quarter was big, yeah.
He didn't give me shit.
No.
My father gave me
Well, you know why? He wanted to shut me up because I used to, come on, I want to go home, I want to go home. So he wanted to have another beer over there, and he would just, here, get the hell away from me. Here's a quarter. Then he used to give me the ball to hit around the pool table. Just the one ball. That's what I used to get to, as a kid. That used to keep you quiet for like 10 minutes.
My father, when he used to have the store, your father used to go into my father's store. The guys used to come in and I used to have the crap games. Ziggy the Slick, Augie Machine Gun Bender.
My father...
What about the Red Circle? His father was part of the Red Circle gang.
I'm going to give you some names.
The Red Circle gang. Puffs.
Jerusalem.
Biggie.
Squeaky Petey Wee.
Oogles.
Billy Onions was another one.
Billy Onions.
Oh, man, what was the other one?
I wrote a story about Billy Onions.
Feffy. Khaki, Feffy.
What about
Chewy.
Nick the Greek?
Nobody had a name. What about
Mikey LaBrush?
Well, how did he get his name? Right?
How did he get his name?
Oh, you tell me.
This guy used to sing. He was a singer. But he was always combing his hair with a brush. So he had to go on this audition. And his mother yelled out the window, he forgot his brush. She said, Mikey, stu scordavo li brush. You forgot the brush. Mikey, li brush. They used to call him Michael LaBrush. And he started to go under that name. And even if you call his name was DiPiano, Mikey DiPiano.
Then nobody would know who he was, right?
If you called the name Mikey D, he wouldn't turn around.
That's like my father told me. I go, Dad, how'd they get Squeaky Petey Weed? Well, his shoes, they said they could hear him coming from like 2 blocks away because his shoes always...
How about Tony Passanone?
Oh, with the... well, you tell me that was...
Well, you thought it was Passanone because...
Yeah, his macaroni belly.
Macaroni, no, it wasn't pasta, it was Passanone. Passanone in Italian means to pass in front. He always used to pass in front of the store.
But never go in.
So they used to call him, that's Tony Passanone.
That's a good one. That's good. I don't know. Nobody had a name.
I gotta keep checking this camera, see it doesn't go off. No, we got it.
I don't know. The guy used to come into Palumbo's Tavern as a kid, and never forget, I was like fascinated. Mickey Lynch, his name was. He used to have a monkey as a kid on his shoulder. And he used to sit at the bar with this monkey on his shoulder.
I tell you, did you, if you guys out there have seen a Bronx Tale, that's the way our neighborhood was.
Yes.
It was something.
You didn't come into the neighborhood, right?
But your father. His father, they used to call, what's your father's name? Mike. Nobody knew him as Mike. They used to call him Larry. My mother used to call him Larry. Everybody, Larry. Now, why did they call your father Larry?
Because back in the 1920s, when my father was a kid, there was a comedian, Larry Seaman, and they said he looked just like him.
So they know.
Call him Larry.
It's like my cousin Dennis. They call him Warren Laurel. Because his name is Zelinsky, because my aunt Adele, she married a Polish guy, Zelinsky. So the Z, so they called him Z-Man. Then Warren Zevon was a drummer for some band, and so they started to call him Zevon. And then they called him Warren, so that Warren stuck, and he always used to go to the racetracks. He used to like the Laurel racetrack in Maryland. He drove all the way down. That was the big thing. To go to Laurel, he drove to Maryland to go to the racetrack, so they started calling him Warren Laurel. And his friend Ralphie, there's about 4 Ralphie. Ralphie Boy, and E-Boy. They were all named Ralph. Ralphie's father died, and Dennis went to the funeral. He's introducing him as my friend Warren. This is Warren. Warren Laurel.